Hello, I'm Jacob Willis. I won't lie to you. I can't tell you exactly where I'll be in 10 years or longer. I imagine a lot of people in this room won't exactly end up doing what they want in the long run. I can tell you what I would like to be. If I had to choose from the very extensive list of professions, I would choose pediatrics. For my profession, I would have to go to school for 11 years in total. The first 4 would be for my bachelor's degree. The next 4 would be to get my doctor's. At that time, I could go many ways with it. I would like to work as an ER doctor for a little while. Then I could specialize in pediatrics, which would be another 3-year degree. 3 of the characteristics I would need to be a pediatrician are patience, energetic, and compatibility. I would need to be patient because I would be working with kids and they aren't always ready for things such as shots. I would have to wait for them to be ready. I would need to be energetic because, like I said, I would be working with kids. I would need to make them feel okay with me and trust me. Last, I would need to be capable of doing my job. Pretty self-explanatory. I would need my schooling and all my degrees in order to ensure proper care for the children. I will now talk about who has inspired me most. And many people are inspired by rich, famous people. For me, I'm inspired by my uncle. My uncle's name is John Marquardt. He was in a hit-and-run accident about 3 years ago, which rendered his right arm paralyzed. Imagine being right-handed and not being able to use the right side of your upper body. It doesn't stop there. He has metal plates in his neck, excruciating nerve pain. John has endured multiple surgeries to no avail. He was on his way home from his job as a first mate on a 100-foot-plus yacht. While riding his moped, he was struck by a vehicle. No witnesses. He was knocked out, and next thing he knows, he wakes up in a hospital. Without the other person's insurance, the medical bills added up to over $1 million. He has been a sailor his whole life, and he overcame this problem, and is still solo sailing the East Coast. He says, life is 90% attitude and 10% effort. He's overcome the obstacles of life and hasn't given up. That inspires me greatly, and I hope one day I will be as strong and resilient as he is. So like I said, I can't tell you exactly what or where I'll be. I have an idea, but it could change today, tomorrow, or next year. Or it couldn't. I'd like to be a pediatrician to help children in need.
Happiness, a simple adjective we all strive for, can be found in many ways. For some of us, we've already found our happiness, but maintaining that joy can still be a struggle. I'm a child. I have no idea what my permanent happiness is. Even though right now I believe I have my friends, providing parents, and I don't have to pay taxes, I will keep mine. For some, I'm the poster child for the luckiest girl in the world. Sadly, finding a long-term bliss is still a struggle for me. I'm Ayla Vickery, and when I grow up, I want to be truly happy. Sounds funny to aim for such a simple thing, but a true happiness, a moment of flying, of freedom, of no worry and pure and absolute delight, is looking for a treasure chest without a map. I know life has its ups and downs, but that one thing you can think of and instantly smile, that's exactly what I want. Those childhood dreams, playing dress up in my mother's heels, lifting my father's hammer and believing one day I would be exactly like him. That freedom that a kid has, waking up excited, wondering what the day would bring. I want that excitement every single day of my life. A big wish, I know, but that's what these PLPs are really about, right? We're all looking and writing these PLPs over desire, and this is my desire. St. Albans, Vermont is a small town in which everyone knows everyone. Here, most of us stay in our safety bubble, and those who dare to be true to themselves without society's pressured ways are outcasted. Step 1 of my happiness is to move to a place where I feel free to be the person I want to be. A place where I'm able to speak my true thoughts with little to no judgment, full of accepting people. Where can I find this place? Well, how about a place with 8.4 million people? All of them like personalities, and each individual with a new story. Yes, folks, New York City is the place for me. As I write this speech, I can picture the adults in the back of the room shaking their heads thinking something along the lines of, silly girl, you'll never afford that. But who knows? Maybe what I do will make enough money to afford a Brooklyn apartment with a roommate. Not for my whole life, of course, but perhaps for my 20s, before I finish med school or whatever other education is required, to lead to the job that will bring me joy till I pass on or retire. So if you couldn't tell, my speech is a little different from my classmates. The outline given to me asked me to write a paragraph in my job description. To start, I'm not really discussing a job, nor am I able to describe what my happiness would be. Right now, my happiness can be found with my friends, social media, and reading. Short-term bliss, nothing to an extent. I want to be free to remake myself. Let Ayla Vickery be her true self. As Oliver Lauren once said, you can build a future out of anything, a scrap, a flicker, the desire to go forward, slowly, one foot at a time. This is my plan to build a future, a new, happier self, a freedom to be who I want, and no, this is a part of my happiness. Webster Dictionary describes happy as notably fitting and well adapted. Let's go over these individually quick. Notably fitting. To those who don't know, notably means surprisingly, so surprisingly fitting. This means something that I'm comfortable with, work well with, and enjoy greatly. Now on to well adapted. This can be translated to well adjusted, meaning I am content with what makes me enjoy life. The word has many definitions to many different people, but for my personal definition, I would probably fall somewhat under that. A contentment with what I'm doing in life, to be okay and accepting of what is not me. My last paragraph is supposed to consist of how St. Albans City School has helped me prepare for my future. I'm not exactly sure how it will help me be happy in the future, besides being able to say that I've got my 8th grade education here so that I can move forward with my schooling. Of course, that has brought me some happiness in the past 7 years, and a lot of good memories, but unfortunately I cannot hold on to these thoughts, because one of my moral codes is to not hold on to memories, because good or bad, they all pass. It may be that I'm wrong. Maybe my friends will stay in touch and bring me joy throughout my life, but it seems unlikely. I guess you could say city school has helped me prepare to make friends and maintain those friendships. I've thought a lot about what I want to be. A ballerina, an eye doctor, a plastic surgeon, a dentist, a studio arts director, the list goes on. And I still can't decide. Right now, what I want to be is young and free, focused not on my future, but in the now. Who knows where I will be, but wherever it is, thank you, St. Albans City School, for being a part of the journey.
Hi, my name is Seth Moore. When I grow up, what I want to be is a game warden. Game wardens are work with police officers and other people to help protect the wildlife and animals of our nation. But we get, police get assigned to different areas and have to go through rough training. They have to have a good education, and there's some parts of their job where they have to. Vermont, there's something special about our game wardens because they have to at least swim a mile or something. I don't really know. I heard it in a class I took in hunter safety, but I forgot that. Since I know a lot about animals in life, I really want to help protect it and keep it safe. That's why I want to be a game warden. When I grow up, I don't know where I would want to live because it's where they assign me, and that's where I would have to live most of the time. So I don't know where I would want to live, but every time I'm thinking about something, I always have a new idea of what I want to be. And sometimes it changes every single second or a day or a week, but I know I really like animals, and being a game warden would help me in the long run because it's where you spend more time outside where I usually don't because I play games, but I want to be a game warden like a lot of people and want to learn more about the wildlife.
The question we were constantly asked when we were younger was what we wanted to be when we grew up. I had always said something like vet or actress and so on. Now that I am older, I realize that I still have so much time to think about what I'm going to do and where I'm going to end up. We have all chosen a career we would like to have. We have no clue as to if we are going to get these jobs, of course. We also have chosen a college we would like to attend, but to be completely honest, that is probably not where we will end up. Life is a series of unplanned events. We aren't supposed to have everything planned out for us, because what's the fun in that? I had an answer for the question we were asked when we were younger, but I've been having second thoughts about this for a little while now. I've realized that no, I don't know what I want to be when I grow up, because I have no clue what kind of things I'm going to be into when I'm older. I'm Cassidy Odette, and I have no clue what I'd like to be when I grow up. I still have plenty of time to come up with an answer to this question, as do all of you. Probably about to sound like a stereotypical hippie, but don't worry about what's happening in the future or in the past, think about now. The future will matter when you were there, and the past has already occurred.
present is what is currently going on, and that's really all that matters. Point is, we were all too young to be making choices as big as these. Never really been good with closing statements, but here's mine. Thank you.
Hello. As many of you already know, my name is Emily Parent, and I'm a 7th grader here in Team USA. As the end of the year approaches, students here must begin to think about our plans for the future. As long as I can remember, I want to become a writer-director focusing on animated films. As a young child, companies like Disney and Pixar touched my heart, and the love for these films and companies got me into acting and singing, which is very important. I always saw more to the stories and the character arcs than most of these films intentionally provided. I was always interested in more than what meets most moviegoers' eyes. I asked questions most people didn't even think about. Could Rapunzel's hair really turn brown like when it was chopped off in the movie Tangled? Could screams really be converted into energy like in Monsters, Inc.? These and more questions like them intrigued me and gave me a fascination for animation and storylines. Now, as I look into a profession, I want to be able to provide that special lore and magic I still have for animated films. But what really is a writer-director? What education will I need? And what character traits will I need to have to be successful at my job? Now, I've said the phrase writer-director countless times now, but what does it actually mean? Well, let's break it down part by part. A writer for an animated film would help with character development, script writing, and more. The job of a writer would be to help the storyboard artists come up with plots for their art, among other things. This is just the basic definition of what a writer would do on an animated movie. Now for the other part of my ideal occupation, director. Director of an animated movie's job is a bit different than a director on a live action movie. The director oversees the broad vision of the story. They look for things such as color palette, characters, scripts, and more. They have the most control over the final design of the project. They are able to oversee people in each department, and the director usually gets the final say in how things look. There are countless writer-directors, some of whom you may know. Examples of such include Christopher Nolan, Steven Spielberg, George Lucas, Sofia Coppola, Brad Bird. Now sadly, after some research, I concluded that there are few female writer-directors, and I hope that one day I'm one of the few ladies who are. And now I also hope that through my hard work and effort, I'll be promoted to the position of EP. EP stands for Executive Producer, and also my initials. I'd love to be an EP like my idol, John Lasseter. I believe that education is important for anyone to have the most successful future possible. To achieve my dream, I would need more of an education than just graduating 8th grade, but that was expected for me. After high school, I would need to pursue a bachelor's degree in creative writing and film production. I'd love to go to the California Institute of Arts to get these degrees. Many Pixar employees have gone to CalArts, and most of them are great writer-directors. Question: has anyone ever heard of the number-letter combo A113? If you dabble in movies like I do, you may have noticed this combination popping up in Pixar movies. Well, what you might not know is that this refers to the classroom at CalArts where many Pixar employees learn their trade. I decided to follow in their footsteps to be able to have a more personal connection with the Easter egg. Now that I have covered what my dream career is with the education I need to achieve it, let us take a moment to see how my personality type and character traits match up with the ones needed to be successful at my job. After taking the Myers-Briggs personality test, I learned that I have the personality type of ESFJ. This stands for extroverted, sensing, feeling, and judging. Being an extrovert means that I am outgoing and socially confident. Though I do not believe the latter is true in my case, I would still consider myself an extrovert. Sensing. Now, when I first got my result, I had no clue what that meant. Sensing. Now, what does that mean for a personality type? Well, it turns out it means I prefer hard evidence and data and process information through my 5 senses. Now, feeling was pretty easy. A feeler like myself likes to make decisions from the heart, basing each situation on the certain person pertains to. I let my moral compass steer me in the direction I believe is right as a feeler. As I was reading my 4-letter combination, I couldn't help but be fixated on the J part. J for judging. Did that mean I was judgmental? Well, no, not at all. It just means that I like order and planning ahead, which most of my friends and family would probably agree is very true. Now, how does all that information help me determine how compatible I am with my dream job? Well, it's good that I'm an extrovert and sensor for my job. I should have no problem talking to others and using logic on my side to have productive conversations. Though feeling and judging do have small downsides, I feel like both help me be able to showing empathy to other coworkers and staying organized.
It is said that a good writer-director has to be a leader, someone who's creative, someone who can be a good listener, has a good balance between needs and wants, and among other things. I feel very strongly that I fit the bill for all these and more. I, Emily, personally feel that I will be able to mesh well with my dream job and the personality type and character trait I possess. Well, there you have it. I'd like to be a writer-director working with animated full-length feature films. I'd like to work at Pixar Studios in Emeryville, California. I'd like to go to the California Institute of Arts to work for my bachelor's degree in creative writing and film production. As I stand proudly before you today, I can confidently say that with the skills, character traits, and personality type I possess, I'd be a good fit for my occupation. It will not be easy, but who here before me today can say with 100% certainty that their path for their career will be? This profession is something I've wanted for so long, and as long as I can remember, honestly. And when I want something so bad that I'm willing to give an arm and a leg for it, I'll work for it. I'll persist and try my best to become a good writer-director. When I get there. Not if, but when. I know I will be able to stop myself from looking back on the speech and smiling, beaming ear to ear, knowing that I could accomplish something I've wanted for so long. I'd like to take this time to thank you all today for listening. As the credits are rolling for a Pixar movie in the near future, be on the lookout. You might just see a familiar name scrolling past. Emily Parent.
Ever since I was a little kid, I have adored superheroes and the actors who portrayed them. I actually wanted the world to have crazy villains like Ultron and Thanos so that the superheroes can start to surface. At one point, I believed I had superpowers and they just didn't work yet. FYI, that power was magnetic manipulation. Once I got older, I started to read comic books. Reading the comic books made me feel great. I always had something to look forward to. I also tried writing comic books, but learned I can't draw. I have recently decided I want to work in the Marvel Cinematic Universe as an art director. I'm Yakina Benjamin, and I want to grow up to be a full-time geek. The MCU is the Marvel Cinematic Universe. There are other film companies I could work for, like DC, Lucasfilms, or Paramount, but I choose to look at Marvel. The other companies don't bring me as much happiness. I mean, Batman's cool, but not cool enough. And also I love Star Wars, and they're adorable Wookiees, but Marvel overall steals my heart. Usually, when you think of a big company, you think of people like the art directors, the directors, actors, set designers, and like everything else that's basically not an art director. But do you ever think about how awesome the movie set looks, or how did the people manage to make that explosion in that scene? Well, art directors are the ones who take care of that stuff. They're the people who present the project to the public, create the main ideas, and overlook the whole art portion of the project. Art directors are in charge of creating a budget, staying within the budget, and making the timeline. They decide when they need to get certain projects done and when another will start again. The art director can work with many things like computers or just work with their hands. They present their designs to ideas to the clients to see if they want to keep it like that or if they want to give feedback. Job requires working with people. Most art directors will end up having to work full-time in different spaces like a home office or a studio. You can't just decide to be an art director though. Like every job, you will need some education. What I need in order to be what I want is a master's in fine arts, but that means I'd have to get a bachelor's degree first. That would most likely take around 4 years of college to get, and after graduating with bachelor's, I'll take an additional 2 to 3 years of college to get my master's degree. This is a very long time, but I know it's possible no matter how bored I might get. The college where I want to spend my time at is the University of Southern California. I've been looking at this college for about a year, and they have a great cinematic arts course in which I want to take. There are many characteristics that will help me in this career path. I took a personality test which told me I was an ENTP, a debater. ENTP just means that I'm extroverted, intuitive, a thinker, prospecting, and assertive. To be an art director, I have to listen, be creative, communicate, and be confident. Art directors lead a team. They need to relay information and make sure to get along with their crew because they will be working with them for a long time. City school has helped me become the person I am today. When I came to this school in kindergarten, I was shy and in desperate need for friends. To be honest, I was the class weirdo. Over time, I made a friend who helped me make more. I learned how to put myself out there and be crazy. I mean, I got over being scared of the crowd. I could probably start singing and dancing right now if I really wanted to. City school has helped me get out of my shell. I probably won't remember any of the math or reading I'm doing now, but when I grow up, I will remember the friends I made while being paired up with people I never talked to before and cleaning up the messes we made and just laughing while we made our mistakes. In the end, this school has helped me learn to fix my problems while making friends along the line. We all have had different dreams as a child. Author, teacher, maybe even a baker. I want to make kids happy at the same time as living up to my dreams. I don't want to be in the spotlight. I want to be the one who runs the set from behind the curtains. And after this whole speech, I hope you know that I don't want to be like the other girls. I want to be that girl who collects comics and brings them to life.
People ask me every year, what do you want to be when you grow up? And my answer varies every time. Sometimes I'll say I'm not really sure, or maybe a vet or anything else. All I know is that right now, I'm still young and not really focusing on what I want to do when I grow up. Hi, I'm Sophie Zemianek, and I can't wait to be able to share the skills that I've learned throughout this school and through Team USA with everyone else. When I was first told we were going to have to write a speech about what we wanted to be when I grew up, I looked for a few quotes. I found this great one from Dr. Seuss. It says, "You have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself in any direction you choose. You are your own, you know what you know, and you are the guy who will decide where you go." I may not know what I want to be today, and I won't know tomorrow. But when the time does come, I will know what I want to be. As my sister once said, when I do find what I want to do, I want to be happy while I do it. But she's not the only one who wants to be happy, because I feel the same way. I want to know that what I'm going to do is going to make me happy and everyone else happy. I know that not every day is going to be awesome, or it might not even be great. But I want to know that I'm happy. I'm doing what I want to do, and it's great while I do it. I can come home and I will be able to say to myself, wow, today was a good day, and I'm really happy. And I'm loving what I'm doing. There have been many ways Team USA has helped me with this goal for being happy when I get older. They have taught me skills that I will need for whatever I do with what I end up doing. It really has been great in Team USA, and I'm sad to only get 2 years. But they have taught me a lot and are expecting me to move forward and grow my skills. Team USA has taught me so much. Some skills are public speaking, leadership, and the true meaning of friends and family, and what you want to do today will definitely change for when you grow up. Those are only some of the life skills they've taught me, and I can't even tell you how many academic skills they've taught me. From having small issues with math to hardly any now. And they're only going to teach me more. Next year I'm in 8th grade, and I'm hoping that I'll get into algebra class, so I can only grow my skills even more. All my life, I haven't really been a reading fan. I've always been able to say to my brothers or my sisters, "Can you read to me?" And they've always done it. Team USA has shown me that no one is going to read to you anymore. It's your time. You have to do what you're going to do. Even though I juggle all this stuff, I still have time to know and make sure that I know where everything is. So my organization skills are fairly good. A lot of people ask me, "Where's all your stuff? How do you know what it is?" But truly, I know where it is. I'm not sure what I want to be when I grow up. I'm not sure if what I want to be now will even cross my mind when I get older. But I know that when the time comes, I'll be able to find what I want to do, and I'll be happy while I do it. I can't thank Team USA enough for preparing me for what's to come. I'm Sophie Zemianek, and all I want to be when I grow up is happy.
Hi, my name is Naomi Bernard. I am 13 and I have been going to city school since 3rd grade, 5 years to be exact. I have always had a passion for fashion before I could even talk. When I was younger, I thought I wanted to be a fashion designer, but something fell off. I didn't like sketching the clothes that I wanted to make, and I didn't really like making them either. I realized I only like picking out the clothes. I found a career that allows you to select clothing for any public appearances made by models or other public figures. I had decided that my dream is to become a fashion stylist. I would love to live in Houston, Texas, and possibly work for Kim Dawson Agency. I would like to go to the Art Institute of Houston, but I am not completely sure yet. To become a fashion stylist, you need to at least get an associate's degree in fashion design and merchandising. But the higher the degree, the better the chance I will have of one day owning my own business. I need to have 4 to 5 years of personal or on-set fashion styling experience. A few key skills that I will need to have are visual accuracy, creative and spoken and written communication. The steps to becoming a fashion stylist are earning an associate's degree, gaining experience and a network, and earning certification. City schools helped me with my dream in so many ways. I did an e-textiles class during the first trimester and I loved it. I made a floral circle skirt for my sister's 6th birthday, and seeing her wear it to school made me so happy. But that's not the kind of happiness I want. I want to go to my dream school, have my dream job, and live my dream life. But that's when reality comes to mind. Some of this might not happen, but I want to make it as close as possible. Closing statements aren't usually my thing, but here's a quote for a little bit of inspiration. If you want to be successful, it's just this simple. Know what you were doing, love what you were doing, and believe in what you were doing. By Will Rogers.
Hello, my name is Colin Hodet. I want to be a LEGO professional when I grow up. Ever since I was able to play with Legos, I did. It has been my hobby for a long time and I don't plan on changing it anytime soon. I love building with Legos and be able to build all different designs and awesome designs to look at and put on display. I am a very friendly person and I think this job will be very good for me. My career as a LEGO professional will consist of constructing real-life models of animals, cartoon characters, movie characters, etc. I would work out of a building or warehouse. The building would have a LEGO sorting area where I could find all the pieces I need to build any creation. I will also be working in Florida or at Legoland or Disneyland. These parks need LEGO professionals to make models for their customers to view all around the park or in stores. The hiring process for becoming a LEGO professional will not be like any ordinary job. All applicants will have a build-off to show their ability in creation, design, and imagination. I will prepare for this process months in advance by making sure I have ideas in my mind that I will have for the process. The education I will need in order to work as a professional LEGO builder is strong preparation in math, anatomy, and art classes. I will need these skills because if I didn't have math skills, I wouldn't know how to engineer proper angles for my designs or calculate where to place the LEGO bricks on the model. If I don't have anatomy knowledge, I wouldn't be able to build animal models. For college, I will need to gain some sort of degree in engineering and design. I would also like a major or minor in art. These programs will give me knowledge on how to build structures. They will help me be an awesome idea and design coordinator. The professional skills I need to have a chance in this career are the ability to work on a team and deal with frustrations calmly. I'll need creativity in order to come up with cool designs. I also need to be really friendly to all of the visitors and all of the employees that I work with. Finally, I need to take pride in my work and that I do and all the things that I build. It is important to never lose pride in whatever job you are doing. To get this job, a professional LEGO builder, I need to be polite, always take pride in my work, and always be nice to every customer and person I work with. I have been dreaming about this job for a long time. I am really friendly to everybody, and I think that this will help me with this job. I really love this dream, and I hope to make it a reality.
My name is Diane, and I was told I have to give a speech about my career. At first, I wasn't so sure about what I wanted to become in the future. As we researched more about careers, I thought a little more. First, I decided to become a makeup artist, which is also known as a college hobbyist, or maybe even becoming a chef. But those are just little things. So I decided in the future I would like to become a pediatrician. A pediatrician is someone who takes care of little children from birth until age 21. I chose this career because I enjoy working with children and I like to help people. To accomplish this job, it involves a lot of school, which I'm not very excited about, but it will help me to complete this job. In order to become a pediatrician, I need 4 years of undergraduate education, 4 years of medical school, and 3 years of pediatric residency to become a general pediatrician. Altogether, that is 11 years of college. Even though it's a lot of work, it would be a better benefit for my family and I need to do my best in school and stay focused on high school. A few skills that are needed in order to become a pediatrician is to have good writing skills, speaking comprehension. To become a good pediatrician, my main task involves providing medical care to help to people changing in age from newborns to young. I have to figure out what the problem is with the child by examining, diagnosing, and treating. City school hasn't helped me much with the skills needed to become a pediatrician, other than comprehensive reading and writing. I think that I can help myself into becoming more interested in my work, so that I can focus on what I'm working on to get a better understanding. When it comes to conclusion, I'm not the best, but in the future, you need to work for what you want to accomplish. Never give up and try your best. In life, you have to set goals and priorities and try to complete. Focus on what you want and don't.
My name is Will LeGros, and I am a 7th grader on Team USA. I do not know what or where I'll be in 10 years or longer. What I can say is that I would like to be in college and have a job. The final result I would like to have achieved is to become an architect. In order to become an architect, I'll have to go to school to earn an architectural license in 8 years. Another degree I would need would be a master's degree in architecture so I can get hired to work or start my own firm. A master's degree I need to earn would take me 5 years. The two most important characteristics you would need in order to be a successful architect are communication and creativity. Communication is important because you need to communicate on when the project needs to be finished, what parts of the building go in what places for you to finish the project on time. The second characteristic is creativity. Seeing the bigger picture, also the littlest detail, like the setting outside of the house. City School has helped me with the certain skills I would need to become an architect, like leadership, communication, and creativity. The way City School has helped me with leadership is the sports teams I was a part of that included soccer, basketball, and baseball. City School has also helped me with creativity because of art and the specials that they have assigned to us at the beginning of the year. The reason I chose architecture because I like to design houses. Also, I like to do hands-on tasks. Another reason is I would get to travel across the country building houses, big or small. The reason I chose to become an architect was when I was younger, I had a lot of Legos to build with and ended up building houses from scratch. Maybe one day I will too make my own house, but in the real world.
Hi, my name is Isaac Ricks. I'm in the 7th grade at St. Albans City School. This year has been a great year. I've accomplished a lot of goals and things that I needed to get done. Throughout this year, there is one thing that stood out to me the most. There's one thing that stood out to me the most, and that is, what would my dream job be when I get older? What education I will need for that job? And finally, how did city school help me prepare for this job? One job that I've been thinking of throughout this year is becoming a YouTuber. This job makes a lot of money and I get to do things that I like to do, such as play video games. This job sounds fun and like it will be really entertaining. I would love this job because I have my own schedule. I don't have to go to work. I don't have to get up super early in the morning to go drive to work. I make videos when I want it. For my dream job, I don't need a college degree. I don't need education at all, really. But even if I don't need one, I still want to get a master's degree in engineering. If I can't manage to get this, I would like a master's degree in computer science. With all these things, how has city school helped me throughout these years? This school has helped me with public speaking, life skills, what I need for my future, and many more things. This year, I have played for the St. Albans City School baseball team. Playing on the team has also helped me. It helped me with communication. I communicated with the other players to get tips to help me with the game. If I follow my dreams and keep trying, I will make it where I want to be. I will accomplish everything I want to. If I put in the effort, then I will get into college. If I need help, I will get help to help me succeed. These are my plans for the future, and I plan to get them.
Sorry.
A kid who has a very small amount of experience in the real world while also having a whole lot of it. Hi, I'm Hallie Roy and I'm in Team USA. I'm a 7th grader at St. Albans City School, and I've been in the school for 7 years, coming up on my 8th year. When I was younger, and still to this day, I get asked the same question, and this question stumps me. For a while, I had one career set in mind, and I could say without a second thought. That question was, what do you want to be when you get older, or when you grow up? I would just respond, writer. I did that for at least 2 years, but then I went through a small period of if that's really what I want to be. I changed my career choice 3 times in the time period of just 5 weeks or so. I wasn't able to decide because a thought came to me, but I'll bring that up later, so please remember it. And I'll be moving forward onto those 5 weeks. Those 5 weeks were kind of a hard time for choosing a career. Oh wait, the jobs were the worst part. They only put me down every time I tried to decide on what I could be. Writer, author, I can't stick to something long enough. Animator or an artist, people would hate your art and tell you that others can do better. No matter what I chose, everything I did didn't seem to have a bright side. I put a lot of effort into researching all of these job careers, and the more I knew, the less I kind of wanted them. The jobs and their outcomes always seemed negative, and I couldn't make them seem positive no matter how hard I tried. I know that I'll just need more time to be happy and optimistic about my career choice and how my future will turn out. But I think it's time to finally get back to what I promised I would. That I promised I'd share with you now is that we are too young to be deciding on career choice and college time. And I'm not saying it's wrong to look in the future at all. I just think that we should wait before having to do a whole essay on it when that time can be used to actually finding interest in hobbies that you might enjoy. People, and I'm not saying that for everyone, some people can pick a job or a career choice that they want and stick with it for however long until they actually get it. Who knows? Maybe I'm 100% wrong about all this and I'm just being stubborn and not letting this go. This has all been written by my thoughts that I'm actually having, and I believe they are at least somewhat true. I've almost always been one who is stubborn about small things and lots of big things. Although trust me when I say that I know I'm defeated, but if you're in this room, you must have heard the saying, never give up without a fight. If not now, then you know that I believe in this, say more than I believe in using math later in life. Don't worry, I'm not going to turn this into a rant about math, because I'm sure most of you don't want to hear that. Of course, to write this, I had time after hearing this much thus far, and you can guess what happened. Yeah, I changed my job again. Maybe followed the career choice of acting or stage
plays, or even a movie director. No matter how hard I try at my age, my mind will not be made up about my career. Being only 13, I still have a lot of time to decide and find what really interests me. I also have a lot of time to get more experience before being able to go much further. I need to learn how to do certain careers, and I need more time to find out about some careers that may interest me. Now, I've gone on long enough, and I'm sure most of you agree. I can't say for sure if my ideas are completely set in stone. I can go on and on about this topic, and I could get my point across in the future, but it's not something worth dwelling on. Overall, in my opinion, we are too young and don't have enough experience to be choosing our future. Yes, try to fun and guess, and I'm not saying you can't. I'm not saying that at all, even if that's how it's coming off. I just think that going so far into detail and changing it is a huge waste of your time. Again, that time could be spent learning and getting experience for the future. Thank you for your time that you've taken to listen and hear my side. That's all. Thank you, and goodbye.
When I'm older, I want to be an animator. My name's Noah Falcon, and I'm in the 7th grade. And what an animator does is they sort of put things on a little pad, or there's certain things that you could buy, or like computer drawing pads and big companies that do it. And I want to go to Cal Arts for a couple years, and then I want to just go on from there. And if I don't really want to do that, I have some other jobs in mind, like a chef or a farmer. So that's it.
Hello, my name is Caleb Landry, and I want to become a forensic anthropologist. I wanted to become a forensic anthropologist because of the show I watched called Bones. Bones is about a show about a forensic anthropologist that looks at bones and finds out how and when people die. I chose this career mainly because of the show Bones. The character that inspired me most was Temperance Brent. She inspired me mainly because of her work. To be honest, I like the way her and her team completed work, while they also kept up with their social life. Even though there were obstacles in my way, I won't give up on trying to become a forensic anthropologist. The job that I'm looking for requires a bachelor's in anthropology, and then work towards a master's or a PhD in forensic anthropology. The median pay is a salary of $61,000 a year. My job has different varieties of occupations such as cultural, biological, linguistic, etc. The one I choose is archaeological anthropology. For example, archaeology is excavation analysis and interpretation of artifacts, soil, and cultural processes. For example, archaeology is the wolves. In the show Bones, Angela Montenegro works on facial reconstruction. Dr. Jack Hodgins works on a lot such as entomologist, forensic entomologist. He basically works on dirt and all that stuff and bugs, and it's State-owned city school has helped me with my education by teaching me the necessary things such as multiplication, division, subtraction, etc. They have also helped with other things beside education. They have helped with knowing when to make the right choice and when to take a hit. Also, responsibility, this falls under our school's motto, SACS, SACS. It stands for Safe, Achieving, Caring School. They want us to be safe for our environment, achieve our goals, and show care for someone when they're through rough times. To conclude my story, my name is Caleb Landry. I would like to become a forensic anthropologist.
Good morning. My name is Jordan Johnson. I am a 7th grader in Team USA. When I was younger, the main question people would ask was, what do you want to be when you grow up? Over time, I have changed what I would like to be. But right now, I don't know what I want to be. When I was younger, I remember saying I wanted to be a teacher. So that's what I'm going to be talking about. I believe coming into Team USA will help me become a better public speaker, which I need in any career I do. The career I might become when I am older is a teacher. In this occupation, you will be teaching preschool to college students in the environment around the school, in the school or campus. It might be quiet or also loud. There would be a lot of students, teachers, and materials to use around the school. You would be working at this occupation for 5 days a week and around 40 hours a week. There will be many possibilities of promotion at this job, such as becoming a professor at a college. You need many characteristics to get a promotion or just to become a teacher. There are many characteristics you would need to become a teacher. Some of them are good public speaking, being positive, listening skills, knowledge of the subject you're teaching, effective discipline skills, and teaching skills. These skills are important because you need to understand what is happening and also be nice but have discipline. Also, you need to have good public speaking skills because you have to be able to teach your students and also talk to teachers. There are so many more traits. These are just some of the important ones. In this occupation, you are required to have 4 years bachelor degree. Also, people typically major in the subject that you will be teaching. Also, you need to receive a state certification. A state certification is when you meet the requirements of what grade you're teaching, where you're teaching, and what subject you're teaching. The first step is to find out what state you want to work in, and also the grade in the subject. When I was younger, or when I was a younger student or kid, you get asked what you want to be when you grow up. I always have said I want to be a doctor, teacher, or vet. But as I go through 7th grade, I'm realizing I do not know what I want to be when I grow up. I remember when I was younger, I always said I want to be a teacher. So that's what I'm talking about. But whenever I come, I want to make sure I hold on the traits St. Albans City School gave me.
Hello, my name is Jacob Munn. I'm going to tell you what I want to be when I grow up and how I'm going to accomplish it. When I grow up, I want to be a historian or something that involves history. My family always loved history ever since I was born. I've always read books or watched anything that involved history. To be a historian, I need to go to college for at least 5 years. I need to take a history and other related classes to be a historian. To be a good historian, I need to write clearly and organize complicated information. I'll have to explain how important something is and avoid creating myths or changing the past. My time at City School helped me learn more about history. They taught us about the Holocaust, Civil Wars, slave trade, and the fight for civil rights. They taught me about teamwork, and teamwork is a big part of being a historian. They also taught me how to research and use resources on the internet. In conclusion, we all want a job that we're going to enjoy. We want a job that includes things that we would do even if we weren't working. I'm always studying history, so why not make that my occupation?
Hi, my name is Paul. When I get older, I'd like to become a marine biologist. I've always had a fascination with marine animals, and getting the opportunity to work with them and get paid for it would be pretty awesome. I'm planning on going to Boston State College to get my PhD. That's the highest diploma I can get, which will take about 13 years. I'll start by making $39,700 a year.
Paul.
Then, hi, my name is Paul. When I get older, I'd like to become a marine biologist. I've always had a fascination with marine animals, and having the opportunity to work with them and get paid is pretty awesome. I'm planning on going to Boston College to get my PhD. This is the highest diploma I can get, which will take about 13 years. I'll start by making $39,700 a year. Then I'll proceed into making $124,680. Not bad as salary. This is what I want to do when I get older. City School hasn't helped very much with this, as they don't teach you very much about marine life. But I've made tons of friends, which can help me in the long run.
Hi, my name is Cameron Kilburn, and I am a 7th grader at Team USA. This year I had the honor to be a part of the Friends for A-Dog DJ camp. The time I had at the camp was really awesome. I learned how to use a turntable and a digital turntable. The digital turntable was the best because I love technology. It's amazing that even music these days is ruled by technology. I want to be a computer hardware engineer when I grow up. And playing with a digital turntable on the side will help me keep my creative techno side going strong. To be a computer hardware engineer, you have to have a bachelor's degree in computer computer engineering, although a degree in electrical engineering is also acceptable. A computer engineering major is similar to electrical engineering, but with some computer science courses added to the curriculum.
Okay, thank you.
I am Ralph Stein. I like to cook. I want to be a cook when I get older and go to culinary school. Then I can learn to make more food for other people. I also want to learn construction work to help my dad so his back and head don't hurt all the time. Then we can do more stuff together and have more fun. St. Albans City School has given me some opportunities to cook. Miss Lamb's class was fun. We got to create smoothies and make other stuff at City School. I also learned math that will help me with construction work. Finally, at school, I've learned how to get along with people. You need this skill in any job. One highlight from this year was playing frisbee outside with my friends during school day. In order to become a chef and construction worker, I will need to take some steps. I need to learn more about how to measure things and put them together successfully. There are programs at the high school to help me do this. I will work to get into the BFA Tech Center for Culinary Arts and Construction. Finally, I will need to graduate high school to get a good job as a construction worker or before I enrolled in culinary school. I'd like to be a chef first because being a construction worker makes you dirty and you need to wash up after. That's why I want to be a chef first. I want to make money, but to buy stuff. Good one is to live in a good house and enough money. To buy a dream plane. I'm building a clubhouse with my friends and I'm building it with 2 floors. I'm making that because my friends like if they're sleeping over. I didn't finish the sentence.
I'm from Team USA and I want to talk about what I want for the future. What I've been planning for a portion of my life is carpentry. And the reason for carpentry is I've always been interested in building and creating things. One example of a time I was interested was because my uncle would usually build things for our house, like stairs and many other things. It would fascinate me, and the great thing is he would sometimes let me help and assist him and tell me what tools he would need. The other cool thing is I would learn what some of the tools names and what they are used for. The tool that would, and is still my favorite, is the saw because I love seeing the wood cut and I love the smell and the wood dust falling everywhere. In carpentry, the big priority is building and creating things, and as I said, that is a big part of the career. What is cool is carpentry can be not just building houses, it can be really anything. For example, building small things like that are in a house and not the building itself. What that does is it spreads out your options of being a carpenter. The education I will need is a high school diploma, and you don't have to go to college. What you can do is go to the tech center, and in the high school you can take a class where you can work with wood and make things. For apprenticeship, you need to do is 3 to 4 years. For some special educational skills you need is math, for example measuring and geometry for blueprints and the building process. The characteristics of being carpenter are really important. The characteristics of being a carpenter is strength and the power to work in different environments. For the reason of strength is, of course, you're going to have to lift heavy objects such as building materials and other different objects. For the environment, you are working in a different place every time you are done the project. But for other jobs, you're staying in the same place every day. For example, a cashier or any job similar to that. So there you go. That is what I want to do when I get older, and I hope I have the opportunity to do this, or at least to do something like this. And I hope you've learned something during this too. If I were to do something like carpentry, I would probably do architecture or something involving that kind of job. And again, I hope you're learning something, and that's what I want to do for my future. Thank you for listening.
Imagine a dead body laying on the table in front of you. There are many reasons they could be there. Homicide, disease, etc. Their brain, their whole life is at your disposal. You must perform an autopsy in order to determine cause of death. Hello, my name is Adriana the Elder, and I want to be a forensic pathologist. Pathologist is a very general term. There are two main categorizations, anatomic and clinical pathology. There are also many sub-branches that include chemical pathology, which is the study of blood, serum, and plasma, dermatopathology, which is the study of skin diseases, and so on. Forensic pathology falls under the anatomic pathology category. Forensic pathologists conduct autopsies on deceased individuals to determine cause of death. They do this by studying lab results that might consist of tissue, blood, and urine. Oftentimes, pathologists work closely with the police. In the case of homicide, they may share their autopsy findings, or, if needed, they can also find the identity of a body. In order to achieve my goal, I'm going to have to be dedicated. This will show my 12 years of education after high school. I will first have to get my bachelor's degree in any sort of life science, like biology, microbiology, and biochemistry. Harvard University is one of the best universities in the country. Their biology and biochemistry programs are at the top of their class. Going to Harvard would be a huge educational achievement for me. After I receive my bachelor's degree, I will have to finish medical school. In order to get into medical school, I have to take the Medical College Admissions Test, or MCAT for short. Following the completion of my college education, I will start a pathology residency. I hope to complete my residency at Cedars-Sinai Hospital in Los Angeles, California, or Massachusetts General Hospital in Boston, Massachusetts. Throughout my 8 years at City School, I have learned many things. One of those things is, in order to achieve your goals, you must work hard. This will remain true throughout my whole life, especially high school and college. I don't know what my future holds, but if there's one thing I know, it's that I want to be successful and try my hardest.
My name is Devon Lando Jackson, or nicknamed DLJ from my brother JLJ, and I'm from Team USA. I'm funny at times and may tend to hesitate at most of the time when I feel like doing something bad. I'm a Call of Duty fanatic, and I have a family of 3 brothers and a hardworking mother. Sax has taught me more than other schools I've been to, such as Northern Adirondack Central School, Horsesville Elementary School, and Chattagate School. I came to the school in 4th grade and been here for almost 4 years. I was taught to become a very fast typer in 4th grade, learned how to do math quickly and accurately, and reading hit me good when I came to 7th grade. Making friends is hard when you move. My teachers so far in the school were Miss Murphy, Miss Lucas, Mr. Cook, Miss Lang, Miss Weldon, Mr. Charles, Mr. Bressler, Mr. Salad, and Mr. Coffee. So far this year has been a very strict and complicated year for me, and some of my other peers. Team USA has been the most strict team I've been to, and it makes me feel better when I'm in Team USA, because I was being treated easily in smaller teams and grades. But I have a challenge in this grade, and it makes me feel like we're getting real discipline. I want to be a professional writer or author when I grow up, because of all the stories I would write using my imagination. I've wrote many stories that involve fantasy, comedy, and just a little horror. I would be really good at this job, because it gives me the ability to use my imagination and ideas to make a story, or mainly fictional characters. I feel like the
that are in the story you can picture in your mind while reading the books. All of my imagination would be put into this job. What will I be writing? What I'll be writing is fantasy, comedy, horror, and maybe documentaries on some of my friends who will want to be do big things with their life. Like my friend Andy wants to become a famous dancer and singer. All of this will add up little by little because when I grow up, I'm not instantly going to have a job as a writer. That has to be obtained, just like a journey to the end. What I need to be a professional writer is a college degree or a Bachelor of Arts in English, journalism, or communication. I will need to know how to use my imagination well and have the efficiency to write a story that doesn't have the things that are randomly placed into the subject. All my stories might seem like they are 100% impossible, but all of that it's supposed to be possible. Having a title for my books will need to happen. People can't just write a story and call it absolutely nothing. The education I'm doing for becoming an author started with 6th grade with my 6th grade writing teacher, and I thank him for helping me accomplish all of the writing challenges I face today. Sometimes authors need to know how to cut out the story, what scenes should be placed where. If I started writing chapter books, I would need to have the knowledge and to know where to put a chapter when the chapters will end. This will improve my skills in becoming an author. I'm teaching myself in 7th grade to help myself reach my life goal, and it is so far working out well. I'm like a young author, and it is improving as my stories grow. I'm a mediator personality. I have the most feeling, and I care for my friends at the time when you are down or even angry. I could have the anger of a tiger when it comes to being angry. I can get more sad than angry at times. This character trait helps me when it comes to helping out my friends and family when they feel down or having the roughest of a day. I feel kind of good for having this kind of personality. I'll be able to talk, but I'm that type of person who is quiet and not part of a conversation all the time. When it comes to helping my friends when they are being bullied, it doesn't come to mind that I'm more of a victim than a bystander. Like 25% bystander and 25% victim, and the remaining 50, well, you should know. My anger grows when I hesitate, when I see someone getting bullied, and I just want to get up and show the bully something, but can't. I would want to stay in this school for as long as I can. With the friends I make and the learning I have here, Saks is a school I would rate a 9 out of 10 because of all the things that it taught me, and also it helped me out more than many other schools. Being here from 7th grade changed so much about work and consequences. The thing I liked so far about this year was the starting of an economy. I have the greatest feeling able to teach people and myself that when you are out in the real world, paying bills and fines are a thing you need to do in the real world, not in TUSA. Any other schools I went to taught us the same thing like every day. This school will teach the same thing for 2 days, push it aside, and bring it back some other time when needed for another subject.
That's a great speech. I hadn't heard that one already. Nice job. Devon, you have picked somebody to have you on?
Noah, McKenna, Haley, Melissa, and Aaliyah.
Choose Haley.
Choose Haley.
Come on, choose Haley. Choose Haley.
Hi, my name is Noah, and I will be telling you what I want to do when I grow up. So, one thing that I've really wanted to do for a while is to be a video game designer, because that's all I do, is play video games. And or I would also want to be in the Army or Air Force.
Is that it?
Go.
Okay. Hi, my name is Haley Granger. I am in 7th grade on Team USA. My chosen career is to be a photographer. This job is very free working and fun, but there are a lot of tricky parts in photography. The tricky parts about this job are having to buy the equipment and learn the skills to be a photographer. The equipment needed for this job is very expensive. Some of the important skills are artistic and creative ability, good time management skills with the ability to meet tight deadlines, good communication and people skills. a keen eye for details, and technical ability. The education needed for this job is a bachelor's degree. A bachelor's degree typically includes art, business marketing, and other courses. But to be a photographer, I would have to go to college. I'm very proud of this decision for a career. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Melissa Ward, and when I get older, I'd like to own a bakery. I would have to take 4 years of culinary arts school and get a bachelor's degree. I'm going to be owning this bakery with my little sister, Samantha Ward. And she's going to help me keep the budget in place. Okay. City School has helped me with this. By cooking in Miss Lamb's class. Oh my God. I sound so stupid.